In Mark 8:4, the disciples ask this question. They say, "How can one feed this people with bread here in this desolate place?" I got thinking that I've always assumed that that question was a question of doubt or uncertainty. But let's talk about the context a little bit. Jesus actually is the one who introduces this problem. He says, basically, hey, these guys have been traveling, this multitude has been traveling with me out here in the wilderness for 3 days, and they don't have any food, and many of them came a long distance. He doesn't ask a question, he just states that as the problem. And his disciples respond with that question. Essentially, it says, how can we do that? Like, how can we solve that problem here in this place? I've kind of always assumed it was a doubtful, like, well, how can we do that in this place? But if you change the tone just a little bit, then it changes it from being one of doubt to one of curiosity. Like this, if they were to say, how could we do that in this place? There's just an edge of, now I'm entering in to solving this problem instead of just thinking that the problem is so unsolvable. Maybe God's called you to something and it seems difficult. It seems like, man, you're just surrounded by this wilderness and this space. And man, I don't see how I can make that happen in this place. But maybe we can switch our tone a little bit and look to the God who provided before. This is actually, in this reference here in Mark, this is the second time that Jesus will be feeding a multitude of people. But how would I respond in that situation? Would I be doubtful, or would I go out and start working my tail off to be able to fix this problem I just found out about? Or could I get curious and lean in and ask the Creator, how can we do that in this place? And it's possible that I may not be a fan of the answer that he gives. I might not really be able to put all the pieces together about how that is going to solve the problem, the thing he's called me to. But the point is this: it's okay for me to not have all the answers, but having the right attitude can make all the difference. And Jesus is aware of the problem. He knows that you're here. You're needing to do that in this place. But instead of being overly concerned about how all the pieces are gonna fit together, may instead I become curious about how my provider is gonna make this thing work, how he can help me do this thing in this place.